Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. And there's going to be a few new things that I'm going to point to you. And as you can see, the very obvious one being GalNet. GalNet's now a thing. And it's popping up in your news feed and allows you to... Bam! Look at that. Well, kind of. It's not really all there yet, but the fact that it's been implemented to that degree is pretty promising. And the fact that you can access it from anywhere is even better. Even when you're out and about in space, you can always get your Galnet news. I would also like that thing to be a thing with being able to turn in your bounties, but that's a whole other argument. Anyways, the whole reason I stuck the recording on in the first place is because it seems we have the first iterations of variations for ships. And that is because recently in one of the patches, one of the many, many patches that we've gotten, you see the Diamondback got renamed to Diamondback Scout. Now, initially I was like, well, that makes sense. I guess they just kind of added on something to kind of give you an idea of what its role might be for the ship, and flying it around, that makes perfect sense. It's pretty cool because in a PvP situation, you can use it as something that just buzzes around really, really quickly and maybe annoys, puts a little minor DPS on and baits people around. But otherwise, it's going to just do your general scouting, get eyes on people's numbers, that kind of a thing. But there's now this, the Diamondback Explorer. So now you have an option between something that's a little more PvP centric and something that's a little more obviously exploring centric. And yeah, as you can see, it's got one large hardpoint and two medium hardpoints. Interesting. Let's go back and check the other. Oh, I think I passed it. Diamondback Scout. Has that changed? No. So, as you can see, the loadout variations are coming into play. Not the courier. There we go. And so things are going to start looking a little more interesting once 1.3 hits. Now, as you can see, there's obviously some other fluff text, and it's basically listing itself as something in the line of an ASP. It's just smaller. It's a little more affordable for your average explorer. Since the ASP gets used so much, it makes sense because the ASP, while it is a good ship, is not the optimal ship. That would actually be, and go figure the oddity of that, the ship I'm actually currently in, the Anaconda. And the Anaconda being a multi-role, it can apparently just do everything and do it all great and better than ships that should otherwise be better in those specific roles. But again, that's a different argument. So because it's much, much more affordable, the ASP gets used a lot more. Now I'm starting to wonder if, whoops, got to go back to the ships, not my map there. I'm wondering if the cheaper it gets, then you're going to be seeing Diamondback Explorers a whole lot more instead of ASPs, or at least for much, much longer, because that's what people will prefer to be in until they decide, until they go out and make 100 million in one trip exploring out the farthest reaches. But go ahead and hop into it here. One large hardpoint, that makes me kind of wonder. Take a quick look around here. I mean, everything looks essentially identical. It's really just the intention behind the ship. It's going to be a different beast altogether, but did I just buy the wrong ship? I think I just bought the wrong ship. Yes, I did. Good grief. Why didn't you people tell me I was on the wrong ship? What's wrong with you? Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? But as you can see, even with the discount and everything, it's 20,000. So this is making me think where it was placed in the buy screen, it's going to be much more expensive than its counterpart. It's still relatively cheap, to be honest, unless you are just starting out. But definitely something that might be fun, even in a PvP setting. If you might, no. I mean, one large hardpoint, that makes it far more viable. Okay. I accidentally hit the bulletin board. Let's ignore that. All right. So one large hardpoint, and let's go ahead and see. Let's upgrade the power plant class descending, of course. An A4 power plant. That's not too bad. It gives you 15.6 to work with. So the usual for this. If I wanted to personally fit this out for PvP, you know, I could go with. Ooh, look at that. It uses A5 frame shift. Let's go ahead and see how far this baby can go. Woo! We haven't even optimized this thing, and it's already at 30 light years. Holy cow! So before let's look at the exploring fit, since that's the intention. Personally, I actually, to save weight, go down to 16, and that just means you fuel scoop a little bit more, but honestly, it's not that big a deal. You want to upgrade everything as an explorer. Where is it? Shield generator. Anything that's really not directly useful to you, something like a shield, you don't want to plan on being interdicted out in the black, just because unless somebody's at Sagittarius A waiting for you, you really won't see anybody else. So let's go ahead and slap a B on there. Actually, you know what, 16, yeah, 10 tons. Let's shave 10 tons off of that. And a life support, a D. Honestly, if you're going to get into an issue out when you're exploring, the longer your life support is, it's not going to help you. You're just going to die a little bit slower. And then, a fuel rack. Yeah, A4 fuel scoop. Not too bad. 33 light years. That looks like it's pretty much, I mean, the rest is going to be your detailed scanner, your advanced, and then probably auto field maintenance. So you got all that, and of course you can sell this stuff off for even more space. Good grief. Look at that. 33 light years for a pretty much stripped Diamondback Scout. I love the paint job on it too. And that comes stock. That's awesome. Being colorblind, it looks like it's brighter. This doesn't, I mean, the Scout looks much dingier. I could be wrong. I'll have to compare. But yeah, that's not bad at all. That surprises me. Not really. But I mean, that's pretty comparable to an ASP. Not entirely on point with what an ASP can do, especially because of the internals the ASP has. But shoot, for the money, I'd take it. Now, for PvP, however, I will want to change the internals around a little bit and max them out, see what we're capable of handling. Ta-da! Power distributor, good to go. Sensors. You're an explorer / scout, so depends. What we're really interested in, though, is that large hardpoint. Oof. Now they also do have, I mean, to take full, let's see, C3. I don't know, it might be fun to screw around with a cannon, to be honest, because the thing about cannons is that they suffer no penalties, damage penalties. So honestly, they can be rather scary when it comes to, you know, a cannon Viper or a cannon Asp. They hurt. When you get hit, they hurt. So we can always screw around with a cannon and maybe a couple, what was it, 2 mediums? Yeah, so throw on maybe a couple railguns. Let's see if those will fit. And this puppy is going to hit like a truck. Because I don't know if you guys know, for those of you that do not, a railgun, despite being a medium hardpoint weapon, actually hits as hard as a C3 pulse laser. So essentially what you're getting is instantaneous hits that you can snipe with that hit above their weight class. So essentially you have the damage coming from 3 size 3 weapons. pretty sweet. Don't know how it's going to handle the heat though, so let's go ahead and mount up some heat sinks. Where are my heat sinks? There they are. And because of the changes with turrets, turrets being affected by chaff now, despite the fact that they do act a little bit smarter than they do in 1.2, I would say it's probably still far more intelligent to mount chaff constantly, especially on your small stuff, because if you can buzz around and annoy them without getting hit, all the better. So double heat sink, double chaff. Might even be able to pull a vulture disappearing act. Those things are scary, especially if you mount 2 plasma accelerators onto a vulture and start disappearing off their radar. Let's go ahead and mount that up, and we'll just keep voice attack for the rest of it. Go ahead and launch this puppy. Let's see how she handles. Pretty excited. I also want to see how fast I can get her, because I would assume that she handles essentially the same. Let's take a look real quick. Oh no! Oh no! For some reason, the model seems a little more angular. Let me go ahead and pull up a image of the scout real quick. Whee. Gear up. Well, that sounded pretty much identical. Ooh, 344 definitely does not have... Okay. This is essentially unusable for PvP. I will say that right now. This does not feel nimble at all. Holy... Do you see how slow that roll is? And it only gets 344, so it's not outrunning anybody. I gotta give some props to FD for at least being able to implement that properly, to where, yeah, you have a hard point that's gigantic, but at least for the size, but that doesn't mean it's entirely useful for combat, because if you can't outmaneuver with this tiny little thing, you're gonna get shredded. Whee! Go ahead and chaff for no reason. Let's go ahead and see what the heat issues would be on this kind of a setup. Alright, come on. Whee! It's actually not having as many heat issues as I thought it would, especially because you can't seem to use the railgun fast enough. Not bad. That could potentially be useful, but unless you like rebuying your ships a lot, I don't anticipate this being too hardy of a vessel. But yeah, I'm liking it. Doesn't seem to have too many power issues, even with a large hardpoint. And while it's not the speediest little vessel, it's pretty. That's pretty much what it has going for it. So just thought I'd give you guys a quick look, since this is the new shiny that seems to have popped up with some of the latest patches. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm not sure how often I will be doing these kinds of updates, simply because I'm violating! Ah! Simply because the patches are coming quick and they're coming often. I do think that the beta testing will be extended for a week because of all the stuff that they have to sort through, all the bugs that we're finding. I've been reporting, I know some of my group has been reporting quite a few bugs as well, so I honestly am okay with that. And I know I can say that because I'm in beta, but for those of you that are itching to get in, be patient, and it'll pay off, because if you have the rollout come out a little later, but it's a lot smoother, you're going to be happier in the long run, and you're not going to get right back on Reddit and complain about, well, why would you release something that wasn't fixed in the first place? So poor FD has it coming and going, but such is the nature of the internets. So anyways, See you guys in the next one. Cheers, and of course, as always, fly dangerously.